Warheads, and welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
What happened?
It's like a
His,
camera
just dropped, and then he looked scared. And then he
that happened as the whole earth shook. No, the camera dropped at the same time as like your connection just sort of, you went all tinny, and I was like, oh shit, horrible things are happening at every turn. I don't know what's going. Yeah. I'm Mark.
Sorry that we missed a week. Well, I wanted to apologize first for our unexpectedly missing a week, I guess.
We had full intentions of recording last week.
Did.
Despite it being Mark and I's birthday week.
Yes. Happy belated birthday to my two co-hosts who get to share a birthday.
Thank you.
With each other and champions. I'm just over here lonely, cuddling my 3-year-old stuffed animal.
Riot remembered even they announced all those ARAM changes on our birthday. They're like, by the way, I know you...
Here's a little gift for y'all.
I'm very excited, by the way, about that.
Yeah, likewise. What if at the end they shout out, by the way, happy birthday, Mark and John, and then the video ends?
God! And then on my birthday, they do nothing. They nerf all my mains. Something
happy
like
birthday
that.
To everybody except
we rolled out massive nerfs to Zyra, Lux, Lulu, Milio. He's so mad.
These supports have had it too good for too long.
Good. These enchanter supports. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about the in-client comic. What's it called? Oh my god, I forgot.
Pilgrimage.
Thank you, Pilgrimage. And we're also going to talk about Brawl a little bit, because we've been playing like a shocking amount of Brawl, and I think Mark in particular has so many thoughts. Every time we play Brawl, he's like, you know what about Brawl? No, I can't talk about it. I'll save it for the podcast.
Well, it's like, I think I said that and you're like, oh, that's good, because I have a lot to say about it. So like,
it'd be good. Maybe you'll drag it out of me.
Here.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear you, because I also have very few thoughts about Brawl, so like I'm pumped.
I think Mark has played the most though.
I'm kind of sick, so like I'm hoping that I can. We're not like all super low energy on it, but it's fine.
No. You'll be. I'm in my pajamas. It's cool. Anyway, we can start with the comic though. Yeah, Pilgrimage. I really like this. I liked all the motion comics so far. I'm glad they're doing this.
Yeah, and for those who don't know too, I know we talked about this a bit on the Discord, but the way that Riot is going to be kind of saving all of these motion comics in the future, they're uploading all of them to their YouTube, so you can actually watch all of the motion comics on their YouTube channel. So I know that was kind of
a concern.
All of them have just kind of been disappearing a little bit unless you follow like skin spotlights. So this is a nice I forget what the word for saving something is. That's
archive.
That sounds like
preservation.
Preservation. I was like, it sounds like preparation, but it's the opposite. It's after something.
Preservation. H. They don't cure the hemorrhoids. They just keep them pristine, and then for future generations. I tried to actually go look at Pilgrimage again on the client, and it just doesn't load. At least for me. Maybe it's just me. Who knows? But listener, go check if you can load the Pilgrimage. They're probably already gone by the time this will go out. I don't know. Yeah, for sure. I think this is the first one that had a voiceover.
Which fully voiced.
I didn't even hear it.
I thought really added a layer to it.
I always have like the client muted and everything. I don't want to hear all the wind or whatever they like to play in the background.
Yeah, normally it's always
Yeah.
No, there's actual voice, which is good.
Damn.
Xinjiao says his name proper. It's just like, in case anyone was confused, this is how you pronounce my name. And I thought it was very funny that in the little ARAM update, they still say his name wrong.
Do they? Well, how do they say it?
Yeah, I had the normal way that you would hear be like they say like kind of like Sinzao or something like that, where instead of like the hard J sounds. Yeah, but whatever. It's just funny, right? Because I felt almost like pointed. I think there's like, my name is this, just in case.
Not this, but this.
Yeah. Do we want to run through a quick summary of it?
Yeah,
it's really
run through the storyline, and then we can,
And John
I have a few notes.
Excited about Kennen.
I did get very excited about Kennen.
Yeah, I did too.
And you missed his voiceover even.
Damn it!
You gotta go
I'm gonna have to watch that video.
But yeah, so it's Xinjiao. He's at Ionia for the Spirit Blossom Festival, and he's there showing people like what's going on is that he's brought his blossom. He's got a spirit blossom that has bloomed in Demacia, and it's like unheard of that the blossoms appear anywhere outside the First Lands, but it's happening this year.
And more specifically too. Okay, go ahead. I was gonna say he didn't grow a spirit blossom. He grew a Demacia tree, and it bloomed into a spirit blossom.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean to say. What I was going to ask is, was y'all read on this that is this the same Spirit Blossom Festival that we kind of just read about? Because they make mention of how there's been no blooms, and then this year it
has to be.
That was the feeling I got. Right?
Yeah.
Which also means somewhere out there, Yasuo is having his little spirit journey too.
I mean, I would kind of like to get everything kind of tied back onto, honestly, centering everything around like the first like return of the Spirit Blossoms after the Noxian invasion kind of gives everything a nice anchoring point almost to understand where things are. So he's trying to find information about it. People like don't believe him, and then Kennen shows up, and it's sort of like, well, he's Xin Zhao, it's almost kind of like you when it needs to return back to its roots because or its homeland or whatever. They must say he kind of just like lays out what's going on with Xin Zhao, and then they kind of takes him to a temple, which is a great honor, and he kind of just tells him to go up a set of stairs that lead to nowhere in particular, but do kind of have a wonderful vista. That's sort of the actual what happens. Is there any sort of major stuff I missed? I'm sorry, I'm a little more out of it than I thought I was.
So the comic kind of opens actually with a little bit of like an animated, truncated version of the Xin Zhao bio, which is kind of neat to see. Kind of from the point where he gets kidnapped from Noxus, you see his time in the pits, you see him swearing fealty to Jarvan the Third, and then you kind of see him at his current day thing, which was pretty neat to see. There were a few things I feel like of note here. One, there was the whole kind of when Xin Zhao was kind of confused about why is this blossoming here. I looked into it. This hasn't happened anywhere. And he showed it to a few people in Ionia, and they were like, oh, did you grow this in your province? And they kind of guessed where he was based on like regional accent and dialect. And he's like, no, like Demacia. They're like, get the fuck out of here. No way.
No way, sir. No way.
And they said magic is rising everywhere, which, could be, there's a few ways to interpret this, I feel like, right? Like, this could be an arcane tie-in. This could be a whole like Victor awakening the arcane, and now magic shit's happening everywhere.
Okay.
This could be like this could one theory that I saw that I liked too was like this plant was not going to bloom as a spirit blossom, and we know that LeBlanc saw him plant this plant. The theory is like LeBlanc made it bloom into a spirit blossom because we also know whoever she was planning as the host for the Darken in Ionia fell through. She needs a new host. And what's the best way to get a nice spear wielder to Ionia to be your next
nice
glaive Darken host? Make him think a plant spawn, and he'll go straight there.
I like both of these, though.
I did have that thought. One thing I was a little unsure with that, because at first I thought that was very clearly what was implied. Like, why have her specifically be a gardener and etc. But there's at least one promo shot I saw in the client that shows a shot of the Freljord with a spirit blossom in it. And so I thought my read was more than just... And something, this is not in this comic, but came up in the ARAM update video, the dev update video they just posted, where they've given this phenomenon, I think... I could be wrong, but I think they've given this phenomenon a name called Wild Bloom.
Okay. That's good to know, actually, because that was actually my literal question about this. Like, I was like, it seems weird that we're only seeing this with Xin Zhao, right? Because we know that there's a lot of Ionians transplanted elsewhere, right? Like, we know that Ari, Yasuo, Lilia, Nico, Varus, Sona, Nami, all kind of Ionia origin to some extent. that are no longer there. It seems like we would see that more often. And to another degree, too, we also have a handful of people that are not in Ionia that also have kind of regionally famous flowers that live in Ionia. And like,
regionally famous flowers.
Would we expect to see their native flowers blooming in Ionia? But hearing this is... It blows the roof off this whole thing.
I think give it a grain of salt in that like I'm a lousy like messenger because they were kind of vague as to like what specifically this is, but they're definitely attaching a name to it to this whatever's exactly happening with the Spirit Blossom in Ionia. So yeah. But yeah, I had the LeBlanc thought too. I would be curious. I mean, they could be both, right?
I was going to say
she took advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the other thing I was going to mention in that scene is that when Xin Zhao was talking to them and they kind of mentioned this rising of magic, he starts saying something and Kennen cuts him off and it's sort of like, "Hey, watch out! You might get yourself in trouble, Mister Seneschal Demacia." What is it that he was going to say? What was he going to suggest? He right? You know what I'm talking about? I wish I had the exact line of dialogue in front of me.
I do. I could find it. Pretty quick.
I pull it too. But it's when he's talking to these two people who are trying to guess where he's from, and he's like, "Do you think this could be, and then he's kind of cut off.
I do in that scene too. For the record, I absolutely love how hot Xin Zhao comes at Kennen.
I thought you were going to just say that he was really fucking hot.
How fucking hot is he in there? Like,
how hot was Kennen in this one, guys?
Because he's like, careful, Seneschal. And he like whips out his spear and he's like, oh, and like in a festival that he clearly knows he's not supposed to have his spear at. He's covered it up until now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kennen even kind of dogs him for it. It's like that you bring a weapon to this place.
Right.
Kind of cringe.
It's the Demacian in you.
What if the blossoms are a sign of something more? A change in... And then...
Shut your mouth.
Cut off. Right?
We're talking about blossoms.
A change in the balance? That's my job. Get the fuck out of here, buddy.
I kind of like that idea, actually.
Not gonna have Demacians coming for my job.
Yeah, it's interesting that Kennen was so specific. I mean, I guess he's very fast, but he's there and he was right there at that time. I don't know. I'm curious, right?
I love. So one of the things, this is like a motion comic, but like with motion comics, there's very little motion. There's despite that, any scene where like Xin Zhao and Kennen are like walking next to each other, Xin Zhao is stationary and Kennen is always hopping around.
That's true.
Oh, I love it.
Kennen's fun. They should have more Kennen around. I hope Kennen sticks around for more of this season.
Was thinking that too, and then perhaps he can get a visual update because I think he's still he's like got to be one of the worst looking champs in the game right now, right? They don't have to change his costume.
He looks beautiful.
His purple threads are sick.
He just needs like a Timo kind of situation.
Yeah, he just needs to not look like such a blob of pixels. Kennen and like Lulu are top two for me. As please fix him. Please fix him. Please. That Lulu face creeps me out.
It's pretty good. It's always the animations. How they can kind of like immediately just like dive into an animation. There's no smooth transition
when they're walking. So.
All right.
Anyway,
makes it harder to dodge. I love it. The other kind of note I have here was like I was curious. Did they confirm like for sure who the figure on the stage with Lux is during the festival? I couldn't tell whether that was like
something
the new champion or whether it was Hui or whether it was like foreshadowing for like darkened Xin Zhao.
That's a good question. I see what you're talking about. It's when there's like the shadow puppet.
Yeah.
Right?
And you said Lux. Like is that Soraka? Who is that supposed to be?
This is Lux here.
Oh, I see now. Okay. Why is Lux in this?
Gonna get a Spirit Blossom skin, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess that's
Spirit
fair.
Blossom
Yeah, that's
skin,
fair.
gotta get the old one.
Trying to remember what the new champ looks like.
It's not the new champ. The new champ is the Shrine Maiden.
I was gonna say,
who
not
shows up
like
also
that.
in this.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
they draw a
what
direct
the new
comparison
Darkin's
between
going to
her
be.
and the-
That's kind of the weapon, right?
It is a
Could be,
glaive.
right?
They're holding it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thought too. Is it a glaive or is it a paintbrush?
That paintbrush thick.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a glaive.
Yeah,
I'll double check it.
the headpiece doesn't look like Hui, right? Like what's coming out
It
of the
reads
head?
glaive,
Well, I
but
think
if it was a
any,
paintbrush,
any
that'd be a
Spirit
slick.
Blossom skin is probably going to have a unique head
Oh, that's
piece,
true.
right?
That's true. They're gonna look a little.
I mean, it
different.
would be slick. It would be slick if that was a paintbrush. It reads glaive to me, you know. But that would also be slick if that is the darken, and we're getting that's a little visual hint of it. I should have
like
looked through
that.
more like the. I just like the thing is I just kind of saw it and I was like, oh yeah, that's Lex. I didn't really think about the figure that was next to her. I don't know why. Because there's
I didn't either.
all of the skins are
I didn't
in
realize
here
that
in
was
various
Lex.
ways, right? There's like some kids running around like a bard costume, like that was kind of fun piecing who's who.
Yeah.
For some reason, that one just slipped my mind.
I think it's neat. So we mentioned that Sinjao had like wrapped up his spear, and I feel like with his spear wrapped up, his spear looks even more like the glaive
it does look
on
like
stage,
the
too.
glaive.
That is true. I kind of like it. I hope they-
Also, I
they-
love that it's wrapped up, and he's like, "Don't guess what this is. It's just a
Could
big
be
hot dog.
anything.
This is a weapon." I would
It's very
never.
long, very small umbrella.
He would not get into Ren Fair with that. It's the worst piece tying ever. He was able to unsheath that shit in half a second flat.
You brought a weapon to this glorious festival, and it's like nerds walking around at Ren Fair. Oh man,
This is a place of peace and love.
Pace of peace.
This is our
I say
sacred-
that as someone who's already gotten my money's worth of my Ren Fair season pass. Okay, like
Oh yeah.
I just wanna make that
We're not
clear. I
making
wanna
fun of
catch-
them. Yeah.
I don't know. I was gonna say. A little detail I like is that they mentioned that his Demacian guards are not cool with this shit, and they do not get off the ship. It's like I told them they could sit on the ship, and they're like, "Thank you."
Which I mean,
It's
I
like-
guess makes sense, right? The whole premise of it is like you're speaking to the dead, right? That probably feels very
That's
magic-y.
Yes, they probably don't even want to be like on Ionian soil at all,
Right.
And let alone during like their most magical night of the last decade or whatever it is.
It's got to be tough, right? As an entire city state that views magic as like unnatural, it's got to be weird coming to a place that like, well, it is literally nature here, and I don't want to confront my own beliefs with what that means, so I'm gonna chill
That's a
here.
good point. Yeah, most people would
Look, man, it's like
rather turn their head than admit they're wrong.
I just don't bring my oh no, I'm trying to remember the whatever. I was gonna make a religion joke, but don't worry about it. I was gonna say
I wouldn't have gotten it.
you don't go to Mardi Gras with your Catholic grandparents or something like that, right? It's just not their scene. It's not their scene.
So
Anyway.
is this Mardi Gras?
Kind of, yeah.
Spirit Blossom
Except it's
Festival is
they're
Mardi
both
Gras.
they're both beautiful ceremonies, right?
It's like Morty Gras,
Mort
I
has
like
nothing
it.
to
I
do
like
with this,
it.
honey.
but then more like
Oh,
stands
I
for
thought you
death.
meant like
Morty
Mord,
Gras.
like M-O-R-D, like Mordekaiser.
No.
It's like Mordekaiser's not here.
Although he does have his own death realm, so
I
it still
guess.
works.
Fair.
Works
I'm
in
an
both
idiot.
ways. Fuck yeah.
Okay, well, calm down, honey.
So he could be.
I like this idea now that spirit blossoms are going to be growing in Demacia. I'd like to imagine their response to that is cutting them, burning them, trying to stop them from growing in Demacia. You think that's what they would try to do?
I don't know if they'd know what it is.
No, they would have to know. Well, not everyone in Demacia, obviously, but I feel like
I think they'd probably come down. I think they'd probably burn them. I think you're right.
I
It's
think
like
so
they don't need to know
too,
what it
which
is. It's just
sad.
clothes.
They're like, how is
Plants
this
don't do that
growing
shit.
here magically? Yeah, but I would imagine like higher ups in Demacia, they would want to know about magic in the world. Like, what's the threat, right? And Ionia, is scary, but I'm not trying to invade them. So, but still,
Those scary Ionians
There's almost like a more
cowering on
practical,
their islands,
like
away
Noxian
from
frustration.
Noxians.
yeah.
Although then Jin comes to
Ooh, fair.
Then Jin comes out and everyone's got to figure out what the fuck's
But
going
he's
on.
not magical. So maybe magic isn't the worst thing, Demacia.
I was going to say he's technically magical.
Oh, is he? I didn't realize. Shit.
Yeah, but he wasn't when he was doing his old bullshit. When he was up to his old tricks, he was, you know,
Yeah.
he was all natural, baby.
He's a regular 70s serial killer, man. You know?
He's using a scalpel instead of guns like a fucking weirdo.
Dressed like a clown. It was
He's cutting
bizarre.
and pasting his, you know.
Anyway.
Jin Wayne Gacy, come on now. It's grossly inappropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we,
Those were most of my thoughts about the comic.
do we have anything much else for the... Okay.
Yeah, I dug it. I'm excited for
Yeah.
whatever the next scene is going to be, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All the pieces are moving towards the same place, and I'm excited when they all meet up.
If they all meet.
No, y'all haven't watched that mid-season thing, right? There's a little thing that progresses a little bit of the cripes. I was one of the ones where we reacted to the animated one in Ionia with Shinchao in it. There's like an extra like 15 to 20 seconds added on to the end of it.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm sure we'll talk about it when we get to like talking about more about what happens next in the season story. So we can talk about more then. It's not so specific to this comic, but I was just curious.
No, I don't think I saw it. Was it in the client?
Well,
Or they just put it on YouTube?
no. They put it on YouTube, I think.
Oh, okay. If it's recent, then no.
Yeah, it's not a motion comic thing. It's like progress. Anyway, we'll talk about it later, I'm sure. Because I think it'll involve the new champion. Anyway,
Sweet.
you want to talk about Brawl? How you feeling about it?
Yeah, I want to talk about Brawl.
Let's do it. I want to hear
Okay.
your thoughts about Brawl.
All right, Brawl, everybody. The new game mode for people who don't play the game, maybe, if they want us to listen to this. It's still a 5v5, but it's on a very small map, and it's no nexus. It's all about points, and everyone starts out with a few hundred points, and you lose them every time you die. And if minions go into your little portal hole, the enemy minions get into there. You'll also lose 3 points for every minion that jumps in. And then there's like a tiny jungle above and below you in the lanes that do have jungle camps. And it makes really interesting dynamics. There's some brushes, and it's also, based on a part of Bandle City. It's a Bandle City map, which is really fun and cute. The shopkeepers are adorable, and they have baked goods that I want to eat through the screen.
And they completely fucked up my yearly prediction. So I guess fuck you. I had
think we're gonna get
predicted
one
that
right.
Kobuko was going to be released as a champion this year, but he's one of the shopkeepers in this map, so
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to
Probably
happen.
not.
Has anyone tried playing
You
Yumi?
never know.
She was in this, right? I think I played against a Yumi before. Do we know what happens?
Yeah, I played against you, Yumi.
Does she disappear from the shop if someone's playing her?
That would be pretty cool. What if there are 2 Yumis?
Oh, interesting.
Because there's a Yumi in one of the shop. One of the
Oh, I don't think I
shopkeepers is
noticed.
Kobuko. The other shopkeeper is Nora, who is Yumi's master.
And Yumi's there?
Yumi's there, kind of napping on a book.
Oh my gosh, I have to pay more attention. I'm always just
What if that
panicking.
Yumi is LeBlanc? Turns into LeBlanc and
shit.
gets away.
Fuck, you're right.
Well, okay, so like, real quick, what do y'all think about Brawl? Is it just like a fun experiment and then back to ARAM or what? I guess that was a question. Also, was like, would you prefer, play ARAM or Brawl, right? Or does it depend?
I prefer ARAM, I think. I think Brawl is fun, and I do kind of enjoy it a lot of the time. It's just my main complaint with it is that with the way the points work, I very rarely... there's only 2 ways to get point or to lose points, I guess, technically. And yet still, I very rarely know why or how I'm losing or winning. We're just kind of like, both teams are team fighting, both teams are wave clearing, and one team is ahead. And I feel like I can never accurately gauge whether I should be winning or not. I'm always surprised by the outcome.
You could look up where the points are, John.
No, I know. I'm always surprised. I'm like, oh, we're winning. And then I look at the points and I'm like, wait, how the fuck are we losing?
Oh, okay, that can happen really fast, yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about the comeback mechanic they put in. I feel like that always...
like buff. I don't know what it actually mechanically does. I'll be honest with you.
Me
I guess I could have looked it up. I just know that
I also didn't look
I'm sure
it
it
up.
just is a stat boost in some way.
Yeah, all I know is that anytime it triggers for the other team, we always have twice as many points as they do, and we always lose. I don't think I've ever won when that's been triggered.
Really, it's interesting. It's interesting. I do agree that like there's a lot of like noise in it in terms of understanding. Like you said, you can look up the points, but there's often times where it's like I will not be aware that I'm a winning or losing. Or it I think like the announcement, it doesn't do a good enough job of like getting in your face about, hey, you're about to lose. Do not fucking die. Stop. Go base. Go press the B button. You can do that. This is an ARAM, dude.
Which I love that you can do.
Yeah, that is something that if you ever like play this mode, you have to remind yourself. Like, especially when you first start. Mark, you had to remind me. You played some first, and then I joined a game with you, and you're like, just keep in mind, you can back. And I even forgot, like, immediately.
You can and should all the time.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, well, I think, man, I'm just gonna get so rabbit hole on different things. It's funny because you'll see people who play ARAMs, and you can pick out who's an ARAM player because it's like they're running around at 200 HP. But it's also like that kind of ties in with the like. I get that it's just a fun game mode, and they probably didn't want to put too much emphasis on like really teaching it to people if no one's gonna play it, you know, for a long period of time. But kind of introducing like some very simple fundamentals of like, hey, like dying is way worse than a minion getting in, right? Like just know that, right? Just some things like that, or like what I would like would be maybe after there's like a set of kills, it would kind of have something to indicate like this is like some number like 15 points lost or something like that, so you could see, oh, we just lost that team fight, we just lost 30 points. I remember we were up like what felt like 50. That's why things have shrunk so bad or something. I don't know.
That'd be useful. Kind of like they do like kill streak call outs, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because that's the thing too, is I think like it's because it's the kind of the league system's grafted onto like this different set of rules. So you know,
the minion thing though is funny because like you say, dying is worse than a minion getting in, but the minion thing can snowball so quickly too that like your death is worth less than 2 minions getting in. You know, so like dying to prevent 4 minions from getting in is worth it. But it's like you have to keep that in mind a lot and shit like that.
It's. I kind of like Brawl. I kind of like Brawl as an ARAM replacer. I'll say I like it for the speed of iteration. The speed of iteration, right? Because it's like there are definitely a lot of times where we'll kind of try and tie an ARAM. It's like, I can do an ARAM, and you're in there for 25 minutes, and it's like that, dude. That's a bit long. I like the quickness, and I think the other thing I kind of like about it is that it makes you care more about the minions, because what you'll see, I feel like in ARAM, is that you'll have the situation where one team can get the wave shoved in, and the other team can like either out sustain the poke, or like there's not a lot of poke to like do it. So what ends up happening is that people are just slamming waves into the turret over and over and over, and nothing is fucking happening. It doesn't matter, because one team knows that if they engage, they're going to lose. The other team knows that if they don't do this, they're going to lose. It's like, because of the way the team comps interact, the only thing we can do is this pattern motion, which is boring as shit. And at least in this one, it's like, okay, you got to be able to do the waves, but you also got to be able to do like kind of the jungle. And it's like, if you get a team of 5, that's one thing that I find frustrating, I'll say, is that like having no team coordination. It's like, dude, I got 5 ADCs on my team. This is a hard fucking game.
Yeah, you can't see what your team is going to look like. You pick your champion, you jump in, and you get just assigned with people. So unless you're in a team with 4 other people, you're not going to know what your kind of team comp is or what you're up against. And there are mirror matches, which I don't think anybody loves. But that's okay. It doesn't happen. It does happen a bit, but I think if you avoid like a handful of really popular champs in Brawl, you probably won't get a mirror match.
Yeah. And I will say, like, in comparison to other modes that let you choose whatever champions you want, there are obviously some things that are more popular than others, but it doesn't seem like this game mode has been broken yet,
Yeah, that's
like I feel like there's a certain point anytime like All for One comes out to like you could enjoy playing it before it became unbearable.
Because people figured out some annoying ass shit that they could do.
it doesn't feel like that yet. There are certainly things that are annoying to face. Like, I don't think anyone ever likes facing a team of 5 bruisers just running you down and
because that is a
killing you in front
strat.
of your own turrets. But...
picking people who will win a duel, right, and just running at the enemy team and killing them.
But that pertains to every game mode. I hate that in ARAM and I hate it in League.
Fair.
It's interesting because like I remember there were champions who I played. I guess like that's the thing. The big grain of salt for all this is that like I'm bad. I scrub at League and like there were big swaths of champion archetypes that I really didn't play because I really didn't want to play Jax. You know, I don't like playing Jax or Turn the Mirror, that type of shit. So I played a lot of mages, a lot of casters, and a lot of ADCs. You know, that's mostly what I played. But there were some that was like really like every time I picked up Caitlyn, it's just magic. It was like tore it up. I think every game. I don't think I ever had a bad Caitlyn game. Lucian, I really struggled, and I think some of that is a shift in like. It's interesting because some of it's like a shift in like itemization. You have to really, it's like you have to kind of realize like you probably don't need these mana items. It's like you got shifted around like how the fights run, how you approach the matches. So it's kind of interesting. But there's certainly ones that felt like they struggled much more than other ones.
Yes.
It's interesting.
I think LeBlanc is kind of my favorite one to play in that.
Yeah, I can see
like,
that.
I guess for a couple reasons. Like generally, we mentioned there's kind of a jungle. The jungle's a bit weaker. You know, like one person can go into the jungle and kill a jungle camp. So any champion where you can just walk up to someone and confidently 1v1 them in about half a second.
Because they're like at 3/4 health because they're fighting a jungle camp. Yeah.
It's great. And then if you get to like the end game where both teams just kind of need like 1 or 2 kills to finish off, having a champion that can like get to the back line and get that last kill in right when you need it feels nice. But yeah, I've tried out like maybe 10 champions on this mode, and she's probably my favorite. There's been a lot that I haven't enjoyed as much.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who I think I had the worst time. Maybe playing Sona. There's probably one other that sucked real bad. I didn't really I just didn't play them again. I was like, okay, I'm done trying to get them to work. I'm gonna pick someone else.
Yeah, I don't remember if I had. I struggled with Maokai, but I think it might have just been the team comps that kind of ended up working out with him. Because otherwise, I think he could be really fun in that mode, and I would try him again. Another thing is important, though, is wave clear. And we've talked a little bit about that, but like I realized how important it was. Because if you have like 5 champions that don't have great wave clear, you're fucked. Like you're absolutely cooked. So like you definitely need at least 2 or 3 champs who like can clear a wave very quickly.
Yeah, it was interesting because I kept thinking about it in terms of it really does feel. I guess when I was thinking about this, it's kind of like ARAM except without the random part, and with the mid capitalized real hard because it's the same kind of general setup. That you have waves pushing in, so you try to fight for prio over the mid wave, and at the same time there are objectives that then need to be rotated to, and some people don't need to be mid clearing it; they need to be like fighting for control of the area, right? And so it's like when things are going real smooth, you can kind of get into that natural rhythm of like, okay, we go fix the wave, and now we as a team shift over to do the objective, right? We come back, we fix the wave, right? And you're kind of fighting for the prio over the wave, and then you can see how punishing it is, where it's like, well, we didn't get prio, we took a fight and we lost. So not only we all die, now they've also shoved a massive wave in. So I found that very that like it feels to me like the more people play it and figure it out, the more they'll kind of see that there's that rhythm that exists to it that has to be kind of obeyed. And I remember saying this is that the map is deceptively large because they give you a lot of vision. Everyone can see the mid lane kind of through, and it's just the kind of outside edges that you can't see. And it feels like everyone's kind of next to me. But then you'll be in a situation where you're fucking around on the top side. It's like, oh wait, our Lilia's like down on bot side. Like, oh no, I shouldn't be fucking around at all. And then you're dead, right? And it's like
it's a wider map, but a shorter map. If you like scrunched ARAM, mushed it up, that's what it would look like. So like from end to end, from portal to portal, from ass to ass, it is not a very long lane.
I feel like as a mid laner, it probably feels supernatural to you too, Mark.
That's true, right?
Like, the whole idea
Supernatural,
like,
not as
wave, shifting to objective, clearing wave, shifting to objective. As a top laner, means nothing to me. It's like, wait a minute, I'm just going to keep clearing wave. I'm not supposed to leave lane, right? I'm just going to stay here.
I have one lane.
And as a support mate,
like this one is mine.
I'm trying to see who I should follow around because there's no AD carry.
Yeah, it's but that's the thing where it's like I was saying, you end up with 5 ADCs. It's like, well, you got no one who can side lane, as it were. You got no one who can, you know what I mean? Everyone's desperate for farm. It's just like it felt very bad.
That said,
so this is something I was going to ask.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to ask, how would you feel about this mode if it was random? Like if there was an all random, like Brawl random, right? I mean,
yeah, we talked about this while playing it, and I think it would be a lot of fun. Also, though, I do like the ability to pick my champion, because I think I might still pick ARAM over Brawl, given the choice. Although not always. Brawl's not going to be around forever, so maybe I would prefer Brawl. But but sometimes when I'm doing these ARAMs, and I'm like, I just wish I was picking my own goddamn champion and playing Brawl, because sometimes you can have a few in a row that you're like, I don't want to fucking play this champ, dude.
Well, I think that's the thing about the random thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say, since we normally play as like anywhere between a 3 to a 5 stack, I would prefer random, because that means that you're getting put up against a 3 to a 5 stack too. And there's a higher chance that the people you're going up against are actually going to coordinate some sort of team comp, whereas like we never give a shit about that.
Don't coordinate a team comp at all.
We made a team of all beef that one time that did not work.
It was
as I
beef,
recall.
and our rando was Hui, I think. So that was us.
I don't even know if it's Hui. I feel like it was a support even.
No, I don't think so. But anyway, it didn't matter.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It didn't go well.
Now, we haven't talked about the most important thing that this adds to the canon of League of Legends maps in general. We mentioned that the minions are going through portals, right?
Yep.
But what you can see if you look through the portals are any number of other League of Legends maps. So the minions are going from Bandle City to Summoner's Rift, or they're going from Bandle City to, the ARAM map, or I think there were a few other maps in there too that aren't even necessarily around anymore. I don't think, but
you think you see a crystal scar in there,
right? Like
the other mode that's fast and fun.
So canonically, that's how minions get there.
They're going through Bandle City.
I don't know why you never have like missing minions on those other maps. I don't understand that, but maybe it's just in between matches. Who knows?
They're all like they're all going into the Nexus, like scrunching up. Is that what the Nexus is? Just full of minions,
chock full of them. You break the Nexus and they explode out like an exploding poro.
That would be great, actually. Riot instead of crystals. Can it just be a bunch of like just pieces of minions?
They're all squished in there. You can see them inside the crystals.
And like it gets a little smaller every time a wave goes in. And then you run out of minions. Visually, this map looks beautiful, and like looking at all like God, I gotta look at it more because
scrolling kind of around the corners of the map. Which if you're ever on any map, whether it be Twisted or whether it be
Twisted Tree Line,
whether it be the
Howling Abyss or Summoner's Rift.
I could not remember the name of Howling Abyss. Whether it's Howling Abyss, Summoner's Rift, go around the edges of the map and just kind of look around. There's like a lot of really cool stuff to see, and same goes on this one. This takes place on like the what's it called? Like the Great Tree. It has a specific name.
The Bandle Tree.
Yeah, it's like
Big Bandle City
like
tree.
A great Bandle Tree. This is like the tree that spawns, all the Bandle City portals and shit. Like it's a big deal. It's like the mother tree, but it looks very cool. And Kobuko's in it, who up until now was only in TFT. So
he's cute. Cute little guy.
They're doing it. They're intertwining it all. It's all growing together.
And Nora, who also until this point was only in TFT.
True.
She's been in Legends of Runeterra.
That's true too. Yes. She probably. I think she started there technically. But Kobuko, his model started. Actually, probably all their 3D models started here, huh?
Oh man. Yeah, I like the theme of it too. I was going to ask y'all about that. I was curious. I had forgotten about the little details up in the top left corner.
I know, I have to look at them now.
We were on the Rift the other day, and I think I was looking at some of the top lines. Like, oh man, I forgot about this. I remember that was a really big deal when it came out. I was like, wow, look at that.
Right? A lot of like
You can see
dragons
the
flying
dragon out
around
there,
and shit.
yeah.
Tell you what. Yeah, man. I like I said, I like Brawl. I think it sits neatly in that space of I'm too tired to play a Rift game and pay attention, and I want to play something light and fast. It's you know, it's like it's like if I want to take a quick break from work and play a Brawl games, like you can get that in. You can't get an ARAM in. Like that's
because it's just you don't know.
Break.
Yeah.
Yeah, even then, it's probably at least 20 minutes, and sometimes. But then they're also different, right? I feel like because ARAM is really more condensed. Actually, it does feel like a more proper full. Like you have no choice but to really interact with the whole of the enemy team, whereas like Brawl can easily spread out into more separated skirmishes sometimes. So
yeah, that's true.
The play experience is different in some ways.
I like how we haven't seen, and we talked about how and people haven't broken it yet, but you also don't always go up against the same like type of comp. I guess there's always champions. We try to guess like there's probably gonna be a Lux in the game somewhere, and like a couple others. But other than that, it's always really like the team comps are always really different, and what you're gonna get is really different too. And I like that a lot.
Yeah, I did get this. I saw the only ever other Anivia that I've ever seen in a Brawl game. I was playing with Sarah. I'll beat the shit out of that bird.
Hell yeah! You're like,
I scrambled them eggs, son.
Good.
I think it's whatever. Yeah, no, it's I don't know. So I kind of hope it sticks around, I guess, or in some way might stick around. It's hard. Like it probably won't. To be fair, I never played in the arena, and I know that if you were a fan of arena, it felt like there was a lot of people.
Yeah, that arena's gone.
So maybe I should have tried it. Maybe it's just a better version of Brawl, or just better. I don't know. But just I don't have that experience. So right now I like Brawl as just, in assuming like a no opportunity cost to it existing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will say, having played a bit of arena, not like a ton of it, like very, very different. Very like, that's another game mode where even more than Brawl, I never know how I'm winning or losing. Like the augments you get in that game mode are so fucking off the wall bonkers that oh, I feel really strong right now, and then I'm up against someone who has a LeBlanc who's riding them like a Yumi, but I can't attack, but it's still dealing damage to me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Honestly, that's kind of how I felt when, like, the times where I played TFT. Beyond, like, when it very first came out, and I was like, I kind of understood it. Now it's just like, oh man, I must have done really good. I really, like, won that one really handily. And then it's like the next time I play that guy, it's like, I don't know, they're all dead. He did some shit. He put some items on some people, and they're all fucking dead now. I don't know.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I still feel like that. Like we're in Emerald right now, and Pax and I are still having that experience every single night. Like, I felt strong, and I've lost the past 5 matches in a row.
Man, I'll be curious to see if they do it. I'll also be curious to see what the ARAM changes coming in place, if that refreshes that experience. Like, I remember when the arcane stuff came out, I think we all had a renewed vigor for playing the ARAMs just to experience it. And maybe with the ARAM changes come out, maybe it'll make ARAM feel a little, maybe stale is not the right word. I don't find ARAM like terribly stale. I just maybe it'll make it feel like it's more worth spending 20 minutes in there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, give it
How
a little
drunk are you
something.
now, honey? Right now, because you just reached over and picked up a crumble box from yesterday and ate a gummy worm from it.
Love it.
I don't think any of us have ever eaten while podcasting, because it's not a great combo.
I didn't realize it was a gummy worm. I thought it was like some cookies. I was like,
no, it wasn't a cookie. It's a gummy worm that was on a cookie yesterday.
We gotta get.
Sometimes a man needs a gummy worm. What is this, the Inquisition?
Listeners, you have got to come to the YouTube alone just to see Rebecca's face during that whole sequence. Because John did not see it.
can't wait to see that during the editing.
Picked up the Crumble box, and I was like, he's not about to eat cookies while we're doing a podcast, right? And then I was like, I don't think there are any cookies. What is he looking for? What did he just pick? Is that a fucking gummy worm? I think that was what was going through my head.
I think you can see the exact moment where you realize it's a gummy worm. You go back and rewind. I thought it was a shoebox at first. I thought you were looking at the monitor because you look concerned, John. You had a look of like,
oh god, where's
something's
the
going
monitor?
on.
Where are my cookies?
Oh Lord,
John, are you fucking serious? You just bring the monitor down.
Neither did you. So
You know what? It's actually not that concerning anymore. If she wants to just get up and get out of her room, she will.
That's true. She can open the door herself.
And
Yeah, you said
she'll
that.
certainly hear us down here.
I was gonna say she'll be downstairs.
She would just come downstairs. Night! Shut up.
Yeah.
Do you know what time it is? Some of us have to go to school in the morning.
Is that this week?
Tomorrow. No.
I
You
think-
guys are group thing. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. What?
Sorry, no, nothing. I was gonna say I think I'm good on Brawl.
Yeah.
I wonder if people like it. I feel like I saw a lot of people not like it when it first
I think a
came
lot
out.
of people don't like it. I'm really curious why. Like, what is it about it that is it just that it replaced the other one? Oh my god, why can't Arena? Which I get, but also that's not Brawl's fault, That's Riot's fault.
Right, it's a rotating game mode. You knew it was going to rotate.
Yeah, it does rotate.
It's in the name.
I get it. I still miss Swarm, but, I'm not mad at whatever replaced it. Was it Arena? Fuck Arena.
Ooh,
That's why
man.
you've never played it.
No, I just...
On principle.
When I have to 1v1 somebody, I'm panicking so desperately inside. And so Arena doesn't seem like my most ideal mode. I did like watching all the videos when Poppy was a newborn. Remember when that was the first time Arena came out and Poppy was a baby, and we were just watching those videos at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, those were wild.
Yeah.
And it's gotten
Maybe that's why you don't
more
play it, 'cause
wild.
it takes you
from
back to that
initial
mind
one.
space.
That reminds me. No, it was really enjoyable. It made that time like lovely. I don't know why. It was just really
Very
fun
soothing.
to watch people play this game mode. And I was like, man, I can't wait to play it. And then I never did, because then I was like, just get me an Abraham. I don't want to play this.
And then they re-released it and still never did.
Still good. Sorry, guys.
Well, if they do it again, I
Nah, probably won't.
swear Scouts Honor, I swear on me mom, I will play some Arena.
Swear on me, mom.
We'll do an episode about it. We'll say we finally played Arena.
Hell yeah.
It'll be John and Mark. I mean, it's only 2v2. Who am I playing with? If you guys...
We all get it.
You can have like 2 teams.
No, I don't want to play against you guys.
Oh, you're going to have to play against us.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, because it'll be only just us 3 playing Arena.
No. We'll just play. I'll find another friend. Somehow. I'll pick apart and we'll beat you guys.
Probably.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
No, I don't want to do that. Anyway, that was our Brawl talk and pilgrimage talk. How did you like us talking about the game? Because we like playing the game, and we don't really think to talk about it much on the podcast. But I would be down to have more conversations about the game League of Legends sometimes.
Yeah, we love playing it and
It's a wild
talking about
idea.
it. Don't come here for any sort of like
Do not ask us for
strategic
advice.
information
No.
or
Maybe,
gameplay advice.
hang on. If you're iron, we might be able to help a little bit.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're
sure,
not going
right.
to give you tips that will help you climb much higher than I.
No. But if you want to people stop making fun of you. Your friends are keep riffing on you.
Yeah, people make fun of anyone for their league rank. I
Oh,
see people
literally.
Like, man, I'm hard stuck diamond, man. So bad at this game. And they're like, oh my god, I can't take anything you say seriously if you're hard stuck diamond. Like,
I know.
don't listen to Hey,
It's a horrible
you out
mindset.
there,
That's-
don't listen to anyone out there about your league rank. No matter what
No,
you are,
no.
you're good.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I mean, you're throwing it out there. You're putting it out there. I mean, you say that a little silly, but it's very genuine, man. There's a lot of... I hate the rank shaving.
Yeah.
I end it.
Yeah.
Right? Own it.
I'm just-
That's
I
who you
mean,
are.
by
I play
iron,
at an iron level.
I might be able to help you just because I think I am more knowledgeable about the game than an iron level.
Yeah, I mean,
Man, where did Mark
that's
go?
fine.
He's just a bunch of pixels and lines.
I don't
It's
know.
really scary.
we can hear you fine, but like, man, yeah, your camera.
Oh, there
we
it
go.
is. There he is. It was
Yeah,
like,
okay.
when
The
you
dancing
turn
fixed it.
when you turned your TV on back in the day, and it was just like, a mush, sometimes, because it wasn't on the right.
That's how I've been described very often.
A big TV mush. That's Mark. That's how we got
man.
Sarah. He put it on his dating profile. Big TV mush. And she was like, oh shit, that's my type.
It's so romantic when you describe it.
That's why I did it in your wedding speech.
But yeah, I like talking about League. I'd be interested for what could be an interesting thing to talk about.
I know, right?
We could try ranked, and we could do a ranked report. We could talk about what our ranked experience has been like. Do check-ins.
John's not going to play ranked. But
I would do it if it was for the podcast. You guys would owe me so big.
Oh, shit. We can duo, honey.
I'll never make you play ranked.
I play ranked TFT.
He does.
That's got to
Well, maybe I'll play ranked TFT. Well,
I'm not playing ranked TFT.
If you play ranked TFT, I will play
out.
ranked League.
Not worth it.
I will. We'll duo queue with each other in each one.
That's so much time for us to be spending, like, at least one of us being kind of maybe a little miserable during...
It's true.
If it makes you feel any better, I'll also be miserable playing TFT half the time.
Well, I'll also be miserable playing League. It's like the gift
Here's
doesn't
what
match
we
out
go.
over here.
We duo in ranked. And before, just in your settings, have it in teammates only for chat. Not even teammate, like your party only chat. And it'll.
And I'll spectate.
No
and
one
I'll
else
whisper
is there.
Just random insults. Just
Thanks.
I'll
I
DM
guess.
direct insults.
Oh, can we make a team?
I'll just guess
I wish
that's what
team
what's
ranked was
happening.
still a thing, man. That was fun.
We do flex. We can do
I know,
that.
but-
Doorheads flex. Right?
Oof. Sure.
There we go. Nailed it.
Great.
Put in your applications for.
We'll figure it out. We'll workshop it some more. We'll figure out
Okay.
what we'll talk about.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We have a Twitch, twitch.tv/loreheads. John streams there. As we said, he's Emerald in TFT now, slowly climbing the ranks. And if you want to learn how to play TFT like John, you can tune into his stream Saturday evenings, EST. He plays with viewers and then does some ARAMs after. It's a good time. Let's have a YouTube if you want to see the face that I made when John took a gummy worm out of a crumble box. It'll be up there eventually. Mark sent that video over so we can get it up soon. John also has some fun parody songs there, and we put these up there too.
Game VODs.
Game VODs.
If you're into indie games,
Oh yeah.
try to get indie games up there.
Sorry, my Eddie
once
kicked in
every
like
week or
30
so.
minutes ago, and I'm fucked up. Okay, so I took
You can
it
see
way
that.
too
We can
late.
go find that moment.
I normally take it much earlier, so it's like winding down. But I know I'm peaked. There's a Discord. If you want to find some people to chat with, play League with, you can join the Discord. We also have a Patreon. Thank you so much, all of our patrons.
But a very special thank you to our Medarda tier patrons, Mr. Dead and King of Hearts. If you guys wanted to play Brawl and League was going to swap it out for a different game mode, I would bare knuckle box the person in charge of the decision
Whoa.
just to save it for you.
Damn.
Bare knuckle
that's
box.
heavy.
And John's never boxed before, I don't think.
Never,
so.
certainly not bare knuckle. I don't know. I've got human knuckles.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, you.
I don't think we know what we're talking about next week, do we?
Usually not.
No.
Okay. We'll have to have a sit down and figure out what we're going to be doing for the month. So please be sure to join us next time. We'll be talking about something League related. We're not sure yet.